I like teaching people things. I feel like I explain
Why don't you
things.
teach me how to love then?
Because I've been trying, but no matter
You know
what.
it's hard for me.
I've been trying to teach you how to love it. No matter what I do, your rusty trombone skills still suck. Dick crushing, ball mashing, brain shrinking inducing, murder threatening, life awful, goddamn shit fuck nightmare piss. Damn, son, where'd you find this? Oh, wait, sorry. No, we're not producing anything. Welcome back to the Dapper Dads, everybody. How's everybody doing out there?
Everyone turned it off because that was too loud and abrupt.
I know, everyone's just like, oh, not this bullshit again.
Yep, tuning in for episode 26, which
Wow.
real quick, if my math is right, which it could not be, that means 6 months of this fucking shit.
That is 100% correct, man. Congratulations,
Woo!
man.
Congratulations
We've been
on
doing
math.
this shit for, God, half a year
6
now. Can
months.
you believe it?
6 consecutive months. We haven't slipped up once. All
No.
of them better than the last.
Debatable.
Not at all. I'll fight you if you want to debate it.
Oh, are we going to sit here and do our, instead of the end of the year review for the albums, we just do our top 10 favorite Dapper Dads episodes at the end of the year?
Oh, that's what I wanted. I was going to start it with, thanks for tuning in 6 months. This is a clip show.
Oh, God.
Because I really, at some point, we're going to drop a clip show on you fuckers.
God.
Not because we can't do an episode, just because fuck you.
Like,
here's a
fuck you,
clip
you're getting a
show.
clip show.
But it's just all of the episodes strung together. So it's
All
like,
of them playing at one time. Like, just all of them layered as one audio.
Yeah, either that or like a 30-hour episode. How long do you think, like, what's the longest podcast?
That, like, I would listen to?
No, not at all. I mean, like, what's the longest one on iTunes, do you think? Is there a restriction?
Probably us. I have no idea.
Oh, no, I've listened to, like, 4-hour ones.
Man,
but
that's a lot.
that's a lot.
That's an afternoon.
Do you think one day we could do an 8-hour one?
I think if we were going to do an
For,
8-hour one, it'd have
Guinness, do you think we could do a Guinness Book of World Records?
longest live
Longest
podcast
podcast.
record. I mean, there's no reason we couldn't try it.
Right?
Man, so
someone's
you
got,
got to
like, a
help us.
12-hour one.
So if you are listening to the show right now, you have got to help us get to this Guinness World Record state of infamy. The way you're going to do that is you're going to be listening to all these brand new episodes that we put out every Friday, because in case you did not know and you are just jumping into this, we are the Dapper Dads. I am Fast Finger Slim.
And I'm Drama.
And we are bringing you some top premium, I don't know what you want to call this content every week. We look at it as a conversation with friends, but really, we're just out here bullshitting, talking about whatever we want, because this is the only thing that brings us any joy in life anymore.
True.
We have so many different ways that you can check us out. We are on basically every platform that you can possibly imagine
Name a
out there.
platform we're not on so I can put us on it.
The list of platforms that we are not on is much shorter than the list of ones we are on, but we finally do have a Spotify presence, which we would like to touch on, because it is very selective to get picked by Spotify to have your podcast on there, from my understanding.
From what I was
they have
told,
a
it's
review
selective,
process.
and they never tell you that you're on it.
So
and
if
then
you
people tell you you're
So
on
if
it.
this is something I encountered this week, if you do search for the Dapper Dads on Spotify, there's going to be 2 different profiles you can go to.
Yes.
One of the profiles is for our bi-weekly music playlist that we put out. We feature music that we talk about on the show and just some bangers that we ourselves are listening to. They get pretty eclectic, so it's not all trap like you probably think it is. Go check them out. And then the other profile is for the podcast episodes itself. So if you are using Spotify, that'd probably be the most convenient platform for you to just get everything. But we are also on iTunes, Bandcamp,
YouTube with the video.
Literally everything under the sun. Check out the video. We always do some
Google
fun
Play
little
for
stuff in the video.
3 people.
Stitcher for 1 person.
Yeah, Stitcher, whatever the hell that is.
You
Tune
can-
in radio, whatever that is.
You can check
Like,
out anything and everything that we are all about at www.dapperdadspodcast.com.
The Dapper Dads. You're killing it. It's www.thedapperdads.com. That has all the important streams. Also, Spotify, if you are still reviewing this for some reason. Why don't you just link both of our accounts?
That would be
That's
fantastic.
where I'm trying to get to
Yeah,
one day.
exactly.
We're
gonna get
fucking-
there.
Yeah, we're curators.
The best way for us to get there is if you go on iTunes and give us a 5-star review. We are doing a special giveaway once we get to 100 5-star reviews. If you would like to be part of the giveaway, you do have to leave a username and a written out review so we know who you are. But once we get to 100, we're going to be giving away an exclusive piece of Dapper Dad's merchandise. We got some ideas in the
One
tank.
of a kind.
It's going to be a really fantastic piece of something to own. It's going to be...
And if you try to leave the review and it doesn't let you, you need to change the username, make up whatever the fuck. If you need help, just look at all the other reviews we have. The names are all over the place because it's very difficult. Apple hates us.
Yes,
and
for
is
some
trying to keep the man
ungodly
down.
reason.
But we love you, Apple.
We use all your products and we love you. Keep letting us do stuff on you, Apple, please.
Yeah, that's what I tell
Let
the
us
ladies.
do stuff on you.
Hey, you mind if I do stuff on you?
And you can actually call us or text us. We have a phone number that you can reach us at. That is 402-7-DAPPER. And for those of you who need it written out, that is 402-732-7737. We take anything and everything. If you listen to some past episodes, if you leave a voicemail, we play it on the show.
Yep.
If you leave a picture or a comment, we read it out, we talk about it. We've had some fantastic discussion
We've got
points.
one to talk about today.
We've
Very
actually got
interesting.
some submissions, so we're going to be putting some love out on the air. And something we wanted to take a little time to focus on is our new Twitter presence.
Yes,
that
but
we
before
have.
that, also dapperdadspodcast@gmail.com. If you want to send emails, we're on Instagram and Twitter, which we'll get into in a second. And also just word of mouth. We don't really talk about that, but I have been seeing some people who are following us just because someone recommended it. So if you have friends or family or people you hate, really whatever, just tell someone to listen to it. It's pretty easy. If they don't listen to podcasts, it's hard to explain. But we're so great that it only takes about 2.5 minutes for them to completely become
enamored with
everything that we do. So
show them the episode Dapper Dads Fall in Love, and then they will also fall in love with us by proxy.
That's why we did that one. So
Yes.
tell 3 friends and help this
three
thing
quick
grow.
friends.
3 quick friends.
Every
let them
day.
know. Yeah, every single day. 3 quick friends on the hour, every hour. Make new friends just so you can introduce them to this.
Why the fuck
and then,
not?
Then we'll be good. But yeah,
Gotta be shameless about it, man. I don't give business cards to everybody because I'm nice.
yeah, we got business cards too.
Oh my god, yeah. Check me handing those things out everywhere I go. Hey, so here's my business.
But yeah, follow us on Instagram. It's at DapperDadsPodcast. That's the main picture and video
Lots
source.
of exclusive content on there that you can only get on the
we
Instagram.
try to keep that popping throughout the week. And a lot of beautiful things on there. And then the Twitter, which is our newest endeavor and seems to be going pretty well, I would say.
Quite
It's
poppin'.
at Dapper Dads. So go give us a follow, interact with us. We chit-chat back. We've gotten a couple things real quick. Probably my favorite one that we got. The other day, I was on our Twitter just fucking around. Of course, it's not loading because you know how Twitter is.
Yeah.
But I decided to see what has been happening in the world of MC Scat Cat from
What possessed you to look into the world of MC Scat Cat?
you know how my mind works.
Unfortunately, a bit more than I would like.
Over the place. So I was just like, did he do anything else? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does it just the what's the Paula Abdul song he was in? I can't even think of it.
Speaking of Paula Abdul.
Yeah, this is where it comes from. Was it the Straight Up Now Tell Me? Is that the one that he's in? I don't even know. See, I don't even
Somebody fact check us. What is the song that MC Scat Cat did with Paula Abdul?
Because yeah, there's the video and it's a big cartoon cat that jumps around in the alley with her.
Yeah, because they spoofed that on Family Guy.
Yeah, they spoof it on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I was like, did he get any more work ever? Or did he die? Is he dead? And so I just tweeted at her and I was like, hey, can you just fill us in on what's going on with MC Scat Cat? Didn't think anything of it, just a fun random thought, which is what Twitter's for. And then a day later, she liked the comment or liked the tweet, followed us, and then quoted the tweet with LOL, and I believe it was
a
kissing emoji, laughing emoji, heart eye emoji, and then XOP. For XO Paula. So yeah, I mean, no big deal. We're just best friends with Paula Abdul.
Yeah, so Paula, if you're listening to the show for some god-awful reason, thanks a lot. I really enjoyed watching you on American Idol when I was a kid. Thank you for waking up my sexuality.
So we might not have the most Twitter followers, but we do have the Gin Blossoms.
Yeah, I was going to say we got the Gin.
And Paula Abdul.
We've got...
So we're not doing too bad.
Nah, man, there's people doing way worse off than us.
But also, so you think MC Scat Cat is dead then? Because she kind of brushed off the topic. Someone tweeted at us and was like,
a quick Wikipedia search would remedy this.
I read his Wikipedia.
Did it say dead or date of death?
It didn't say dead, but it's been a huge gap.
Is it implied that MC Scat Cat is just out here floating in the ether, or has he possibly been abducted by the government and being held in a secret cell somewhere?
I think he's probably just working a 9 to 5, and it's hard to see someone you looked up to so much have to go back to.
You really looked up to MC Scat Cat?
Yeah, as much as one can, which isn't a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like he's dead. Like she keeps him in her basement.
I don't think
someone
he's
tweeted
dead.
us and was like, "Watch this interview we did with her." And she talks about it. And I said, don't tell me what to do.
That's
and then
good.
They sent me a weird meme that said, yes, baby. And I was like, Twitter is a weird world.
I love
so
Twitter.
Interact with us. Also today, going to give a shout out right before I was on my way here. we got a tweet, and then we got another tweet when it got here. But shout out Luke gave us a beautiful tweet saying that he was supposed to be off work at 4:30 but wasn't finished with the Dapper Dads. Muscled that last 20 minutes without pay because Mama didn't raise no quitter.
Now that is fantastic.
That's
because
beautiful,
It's
Luke.
beautiful. Shout out to you, Luke. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for checking out the show and listening to us. I would just like to say that the way I view money is that you trade your time and energy for money. So what you spend your money on is relative to how hard you work and what you work for.
Yeah.
This guy isn't even working for money at this point. He is just dedicating himself to listening to us and getting to the end of our bullshit conversation. Yeah. So, Luke, thank you so much for your support. Thanks for checking us out. We have lots of fun stuff. Yeah, that means a lot
because anytime I'm not getting paid, I'm instantly leaving.
Oh, my God. You cannot you could pay me to stay late, but literally,
exactly. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I'll do it for money. I'll do anything for money. Well, I probably shouldn't say that on the air. Not anything.
It's out there, folks. Slim will do anything for money. So call 4027-DAPPER with your demands of what you would like Slim to do and how much money you're willing to offer. He's accepting all offers.
Actually, you know what? I am a yes man and I love money. Shit, me too. So you know what? Go ahead. Text and call 4027-DAPPER with things you want Slim to do for money. If you can wire me the money via Facebook, I will do it for you on camera.
Yeah. Oh, no, not via Facebook.
I'll
Venmo.
Do it. Venmo. Oh, my God. Yeah, why don't I just hit the kids up on my LinkedIn account and maybe we can sell it for some Bitcoin.
Hey, we have a PayPal account and a link. I wish I knew it off top. If you guys wanted to donate to it, it's out there in the internet.
That's where we're at now. We can't even get fucking sponsors, so we're begging for donations.
So go buy merch because then you get a thing. You give us money and you get a thing, and that money funnels into this podcast, which we do pay to have this out there for you guys every month.
Who knows? Maybe if you order something from us, there could be some fun surprises that come inside with it. Sure, you're ordering a t-shirt or a mug, but what's going to happen when that mug shows up with some fun surprises inside? Or the t-shirt packaging has some fun stuff folded up into it. You don't know.
Exactly. And the more people who order stuff, the more cool merch we can make. And the more people you tell and then inevitably buy merch, because of course they need it, will then funnel into more merch. Everything grows. So help us grow. If you want to buy some shit, it's on the website.
I've been doing this thing in 2018 where I just wish more life on everybody because I feel like if I wish success on all of my friends, that success comes back to me.
You know what I always say?
What?
Champagne for my real friends and real pain for my sham friends. Woo! Episode 26. Thanks, guys.
Throw in the air horns.
Throw in 8 air horns.
Air horns for the next 40 minutes.
Air horns in the background while we continue.
Oh my God. Do you think you could get through an episode listening to that? Just
I would just line them up. I wouldn't listen. I would just stack them up.
Okay, what would you do if you could get the Yeezus songs that weren't on Yeezus, but the only condition of you listening to them is that you headphones of choice that you can't go buy. You just have to pick from your current collection of headphones. But it's in a silent room with Kanye West standing there blaring an air horn around the room at intermittently the whole time while you're listening to the song.
If Kanye's there, I'll do anything.
Yeah, that is also true, man. Kanye, get at us. Oh my God.
Yeah, and also, you know how many rap songs I listen to that are like, DJ, where'd you find this song? Damn real trap. And you're like, I don't even think there's a beat in this song. I've got this Rich Homie Quan song, and at the beginning it goes, Southern Smoke, smoking on that loud. And throughout the whole song, and I'm like, this song is still good enough. Here's the thing.
I don't listen to the radio because I don't want to hear that annoying bullshit. Granted, someday I would love it if we could get a big annoying radio board in here so we could do some live sounds on the air. But you know, when I listen to music, I want to listen to music. I don't want to listen to shout outs and everything like that. The era of having a hype man in rap is dead. Let's leave it that way.
Well, I thought I felt the same way, but Waka Flocka has finally gotten his mixtapes on Spotify and streaming services.
Also attacking vegans, I'm noticing.
Yes, like a true American hero.
Still love you, Flocka. I still love you, man.
We'll love you forever, Flocka.
I'll love him no matter what he does.
But he put his mixtapes on Spotify and shit, which I was super excited about because I hate, that's my biggest thing with streaming services. Like I probably said before, is I'd say at least half of what I listen to isn't on Spotify or iTunes.
Yeah.
It's on SoundCloud, YouTube, or fucking who knows what.
Or shit
just on
you
a
ripped
hard
and
drive
put on your little MP3 player.
Yeah,
that thing is a gold mine of songs.
Yeah, that's why I have to have
an
an MP3 player because I can't just ride around listening to what's on my phone because it just doesn't work for me. But he finally put them up, and I was excited to listen to Salute Me or Shoot Me 4, shout out. And first song is 50K with Gucci, and not having the DJ drops really fucked with it, and it made it more quiet.
Yeah.
And then he didn't have a lot of his ad libs, and I was like,
See, you got to have
Oh.
that. See, I feel like ad libs have replaced a hype man because, like, when you listen to Migos, who, as of this recording, dropped Culture 2 today, and thus far I cannot get through it. I have listened to chunks of it, but you're okay. We talk a lot about Migos on the show. We joke about it. I love Migos so much. I honestly have an opinion that when they look back on this era in time, they're going to be one of those artists that really defined the era in music, you know?
yeah, I can see that.
And it's like, you know, the same way we look at like Michael Jackson or like Fleetwood Mac, the Beatles.
Yeah,
Well,
Migos
stuff-
is Fleetwood Mac, exactly.
Right. they're the modern Fleetwood Mac. But they've eliminated the need for a hype man just with their style that has influenced everybody else, because it's like, why do you need to have a whole why do you need to have a Flava Flav there when you can just go in the studio and do your own
that's the worst
ad-libs?
example. I think the hype man was always mainly for
Best
live shows.
Well, in your opinion, who is the best hype man ever?
I don't really think there
Joe
was
C.
one. Well, that's true. R.I.P. little buddy. I
R.I.P.
hope
little
God
buddy.
gave you a human body.
He had
I know.
that
You
is,
know what
oh
I
my
mean.
God.
I said it last time.
You didn't say a human body.
Okay, a
You said like
full-sized body.
Yeah, you said full size. No.
I didn't say full size because you said last time you said the same shit. You were like, he had a body. He had a shrunken body.
What if he went to heaven and he got Larry Bird's body? Do you think that would make him really happy?
What if we went to heaven and Joe C's at the gates and he's like,
With Joe C's
like,
head
"Ah,
on Larry Bird's body?
yeah, he's crazy. He's like, John Slim, huh? I think I heard some of the work you guys had done. And then he pulls the lever and we fall down into hell. But while we're falling down into hell, we're falling next to his 10-foot dick.
He pulls on his 10-foot dick,
Yeah,
and
that's
that's what
the
drops
lever
us
to
into hell.
Jason-
And as we're falling into hell, we just hear bow with the bow, da bang, da bang, diggy,
There's gonna be
diggy, diggy.
2 hits: me hitting you and Ball with the Ball playing in the
Oh
background.
my God. I'm gonna tell them, if I'm gonna go to hell and listen to Bob with the Bob, bang, bang, diggy, diggy, diggy with the boogie, sit up, jump the boogie, I don't want it to be with anybody else but you.
I mean, I had that Kid Rock CD.
Oh, who
Devil
didn't?
Without a Cause.
Everybody had that
Pretty
Kid
good.
Rock CD.
I'm not gonna lie.
Ah.
Would you rather be at the height of their careers, Fred Durst or Kid Rock?
Fred Durst.
Really?
Yeah, only because I actually can still fuck with Limp Bizkit.
Oh.
I cannot fuck with Kid Rock stuff
I
at
gotta
all.
listen to that Kid Rock album. I remember.
Well,
I know
all
it's
he
not
does
good.
is like weird country sounding stuff now, and like that's
yeah.
not.
Now, well,
my
what does
thing.
Fred Durst do now?
I mean, he
Wear a
doesn't
red
do,
hat.
Yeah, I mean, still probably to cover
Yeah.
up the bald spots, but like
He
had
just is a grosser person. Kid
But-
Rock had he's a nasty person
Yeah.
too. But I feel like he was more successful. Like, definitely.
I feel like he
sustainable.
was more-
I mean, at their height. Like, you don't live their lives and become
Limp
washed up.
Bizkit was big at their height, though, man.
I know,
like,
but Kid Rock was big. I feel like
that
they're
whole
pretty-
era was
yeah,
big.
they were
big at
pretty
the same
adjacent
time.
Artists.
Who else was big back then too? That was like a band.
POD.
POD was big.
They are going to be in Milwaukee when we see Brockhampton. Do you want to
Tempting.
skip Brockhampton?
That is
we
the
can't make it to the Brockhampton show. We're going to see
I'm
POD.
done with this fucking podcast. That is the most insulted I've ever been in my entire life. That somebody
know what's
would
wrong.
insinuate
What's
that I would
what's the-
not see Brockhampton instead of let's go see fucking POD instead of
What was the
Brockhampton.
song?
Oh my
You're being
God.
ridiculous. You're not even giving it a chance. They probably have
instead of
new material that we haven't
Brockhampton.
heard. You want to point hands at each other because we can point.
That's all I'm
hands.
gonna do. I'm gonna talk with my hands because I am so frustratingly angry
I'm
with you.
just giving
Is
us
this is what
options.
being mad at your son is like? Because this feels
No,
awful.
you could never be my dad. But yeah, Kid Rock, Limp Bizkit, POD,
POD,
the greatest artist of our generation.
Smash Mouth was big.
But not in that wheelhouse.
Not in that same. Who was someone?
Corn was Corn.
Corn was big. If we're
Jason?
talking about that scene, like Corn, Disturbed,
Oh, yeah.
System
Stained.
of a Down, Stained. I saw Stained live, and I
We all saw him staying live at the laundromat, right? When he was just singing the songs, waiting for his boxers to be finished drying.
I don't remember this
Oh,
particular
weird.
concert.
What was the Stain song I'm thinking of? The main one. We're not good at.
They got 500. They're all songs.
They don't have that
Stained?
many songs.
Okay,
Yeah, the one.
No, they have 2 songs.
Yeah.
Stained songs are either like really heavy.
No, I need the exact song.
Which one? It's been a while.
Yes.
Since
There we go.
I've
It's not that
gone and
hard.
fucked things up just like I always
And I was like,
do.
man, I always fuck things up.
I
really
remember
feel you,
specifically.
Stain.
Okay, so not to get into it, but as a kid, I would be out really, really late for like reasons outside of my control. And I remember being like half asleep in the back of my mom's van in a bank drive-through at like 2 a.m, just like looking out the window exhausted and listening to that song on the radio. And I'm like, oh, this is awful.
Good
and
memories.
Because the one line, what's the one line in that song? He's like, But I can still remember just the way you taste. It's so yeah. It's Aaron Lewis is creepy when you really listen. He does country now too.
Yeah, that's the only option.
Yeah, like
the fan base got older, and they're all just admitting now that they like country.
Here's what Stain did. They were super heavy when they started because they had that song like Mud Shovel, and they were like a really aggressive, angry band. But then they put out that 14 Shades of Grey, and it was all like this soft, like
You've
chill
definitely
stuff.
followed them more than I did.
I did when I was younger because my first girlfriend was really like one of our songs was like a Stain song, you know. So I had just
surprised that relationship didn't make it.
Oh yeah, incredible!
Shocking.
A relationship built on Stained is one that is definitely meant to last.
It is Stained relationship.
I will not believe that it is not a fairy book romance when you both build your relationship on Stained and your song is oh god, I don't even remember what our song was, but it was off the terrible album they had back in like 2006 because I remember listening to it because at the same day there was this big thing in Revolver magazine because Stained and Disturbed were putting out albums at the same day.
Era over and over
because this was our era.
I don't want to go on record.
They had like a Revolver poll of like who had the better album, and I remember I listened to both and I really fucked with the Disturbed one, but the Stained one, the songs were literally it was heavy song, slow song, heavy song, slow song, heavy song, slow song, which I don't mind, but like make it move in acts. Like to me, a good album should play out like a piece of classical music. It should have rises and falls. It should have moments where like these songs fit together and these songs fit together, you know.
I think you're asking a lot from Stained.
But it's like, to me, it's like if
they couldn't even spell the word right.
But it's like, how are you going to have an album with that hard of a dynamic change every time, you know?
Do you remember Saliva?
Oh my God, do I remember
Saliva? I'm just gonna keep doing this because one time,
because they had the song Always, where it's like I see the the Carnival one, because that one, because I fucked with the
all. Be their biggest song. I can't remember. I know it's on the tip of my
tongue.
Click,
click, boom. That one.
I think it might have been that one
because they were like that. They were like that new metal sound where the dude was like actually rapping.
I had that CD, and one time my mom was driving us to my grandma's, and I know my sister will remember this story exactly. It was my mom driving, my sister in the passenger seat, I was in the back seat, and it was, I can't remember if there was some tension or we just weren't talking, but that song came on the radio, and I sang every word to it, like killed it, and I think I had gotten out of like listening to them when I knew it would be funny. Like when a song comes up and everyone's like, oh God, and you're like, I remember every word to this. And I remember my mom and my sister just like losing their shit laughing because I had like every word and I hadn't even listened to them anymore because no one listened to fucking Saliva. It was like a ridiculous.
I had like 4 songs that I listened from.
I had their CD for some reason. I wish I could go back and like,
I had a
look
bunch
at my CD
Oh my God.
I
remember one time I gave a kid $5 for the first Godsmack CD and the first Linkin Park CD hybrid.
Promising.
See, the first Godsmack album was so good. That first one, let's take a trip to the moon, baby. And it's like
I don't remember that one, but I remember liking that album a lot.
That album was so good. And then the one after that where it had like just the head on the front, the face or whatever, that one was good. And then after that, everything went downhill. And now they're like, they still do things, but like, Sully Erna does a lot of like he's into like that weird spiritual sound, you know. So all of his solo stuff is like weird, and he's got like that.
He's got that tattoo on his belly button.
Yeah, it's But then when they play music now, it's like that weird old guy like metal, you know.
Yeah.
Like to me, because it all ended for me when they did that Best of Godsmack CD and they did that Led Zeppelin cover, Good Times, Bad Times.
That's usually
and I was like, that's it. It's downhill from here.
Always a bad sign. Like greatest hit CDs are.
Well, it really breaks my heart
because
like there was so many of these bands that we fucked with back in the day that were like these hard rock and heavy metal bands, and then like there's that part of me that's like, well, let me check out their recent catalog to see if anything's good, and it's always terrible.
And they always like you're like, oh man, they probably haven't put anything out since like 2008, and that's being generous.
But then they put out like 3 albums,
or they just every year have had an album, and you're like, wow, this didn't even come up on my radar. Which my radar is much different.
My radar is huge.
I think that
it's
music
all
was
over
just
the
time. You know what I mean?
And I think that constantly because I'm like, it just fit the time so well. It's like
because like any of that now, like listening back, there's not a lot of it that I would still sit down and
what I
listen
would
to.
really equate it to is like our era for that was the end of like guitar-based music being popular.
Yeah.
Because right after that is when like pop and rap started to be really popular, electronic stuff. And guitar music had a good run for like 60, 70 years or something like that. But it's like that was just finally a point where it's like we were young men who were in an aggressive enough mindset in a society.
That's a lot of that.
Well, and just I feel
and
like
it was exciting to like older guys who had come. Like I remember my dad being into all of these bands because it was like new, because you had just had like 80s hair metal, and then you had like grunge, and then like alternative like Soundgarden and shit like that, which my dad liked, but it was still like very
it missed that edge to it.
Yeah,
you know?
So then all these like hard rock new metal, that's why it was new metal, because it's like, this is what you've been missing. And I feel like that's why it really worked, and it could never happen
honestly again. I do. It just breaks my heart in a weird little way, because like those bands meant so much to me, and like I'm sure you as a kid too, you know.
Yeah, I don't, now when I look back, I'm like, I don't think they meant that much to me. I think it was just like the soundtrack for that time, and it just like,
it was, because
more so because that was still like, that was like one of those things where it was like you're finding your music by yourself, but it's still fed to you, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
because then when I found like punk music and stuff, like I did the research and found the bands, and that still means something to me. That was still like radio shit and MTV and stuff, or things you just hear at radio rock basically. So it's like you think you're like, oh, I'm into all this new shit, but so the fuck is everyone else, because we're not like deep enough to find all the crazy shit. And you're still like out of like your comfort zone of what your parents played every Sunday when they made breakfast.
Right.
But yeah, it was an interesting time.
Man, good
Speaking of good old days, I wanted to talk about a little video game.
Oh yeah, let's get into this. This is gonna be fun.
I brought this up like a while back, and I kept forgetting to mention it. Since we're old and washed.
In case you didn't know, we're not actually dads, but we're old as fuck.
Yeah, we could be dads 4 times over.
I mean, I could be a dad. I just don't know about
we could
it.
be dads. I stopped answering those phone calls.
Yeah, I mean,
anyway, back in my old glory days,
paid the lawyers off.
There was a game system called the Sega Genesis, and one of the many fantastic games for that was a game called Echo the Dolphin. And I recently, my sister sent me some news articles about it, because apparently the guy who made it was like crazy into LSD and like all this
LSD,
shit.
DMT, like all kinds of like crazy psychedelics, like
which makes sense looking back.
Well, I actually read some of the articles. What his big thing was, he believed in like tapping into that otherness of consciousness. You know, there's I think I mentioned it on one of the last couple of episodes. In Buddhism, there's an idea of consciousness-less, where it's like you need to people think you need to detract away from your consciousness, but really it's you realize you are conscious for a reason, but everything else exists outside of you. And so from what I could read, this guy had a bit of an obsession with this idea. And and the reason he did so many psychedelics was because he believed there was a true distinctive cut between what we perceive as reality now and what we perceive when we're on drugs. Because and not to get into like the whole psychedelics thing again, this isn't the Joe Rogan show,
another route.
But like, you know, one of the psychedelics that he did and talked quite a bit about in the article was DMT, which if you look at Joe Rogan, he does talk about that quite a bit. There's a Facebook video where he talks about like the DMT dream drug experience and stuff. But one of the unique things about it is that everyone who takes it has a very damn near similar experience every time they take it. And that's one of the things he was most obsessed with, was that like there is obviously like another world you can reach into, but you have to be in a certain mind state to do it. And so he just plowed his way through so many psychedelics, probably wrecked his brain in some ways.
Well, yeah, and that's what, like, to preface it, the game, when I got it, I believe I got the second one. I can't figure it out.
Which is great that they made a sequel.
Yeah. And because like this is just a video game thing, right? This isn't a character prior.
No, this isn't. This wasn't like a kids movie or like a dolphin at like a zoo or something.
And that's what I never like
you know?
understood where it came from, because the way we acquired it was my dad traded one of the games we loved and cherished. I can't remember which one, and
classic dad move.
Traded it with a friend to get Echo the Dolphin, and it was just the cartridge, no case.
What was the game that he traded?
I can't remember, but I remember it was one of those things. He's like, we don't really play this, and my buddy wants it, and I want to try. I don't know why he went with Echo the Dolphin.
Echo the Dolphin 2. That's like going with.
Which I feel like.
Why would you watch
like
Sister Act 2?
It's like Echo the Dolphin something in time, like some weird shit.
Yeah.
And like the cover art is just like a dolphin.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Well, I mean, at least you know what you're getting.
Yeah, I mean, you think you know what you're getting, but this game, to this day, when I see screenshots of it,
Haunting.
it makes me very uneasy.
Now, what makes you? Now, this is the meat weight of what we wanted to get into with this is we wanted to talk about things like from our childhood that give us like that uneasy, uncomfortable
or
feeling.
even just like irrational fears in general.
Yeah.
Because I'll get into what mine is more so with video games in general, but this game is just creepy. You can watch like gameplay of it on YouTube and shit.
It's everywhere.
And it's very weird. Like, it's just, you're just a dolphin. I can't really even remember like the main point of it.
You're a dolphin. There was like a little bit of obstacle to it from what I remember. Like I have a vague ass memory of this game being played at my grandpa's house because my aunt had Sega Genesis and she would have her friends come over and they would play games. And I specifically remember this dolphin game playing on the TV.
Yeah. And what I specifically remember from it, if you look at screenshots, it's like side scrolling, but there's like a part, and it's the main thing that I remember. And you're like POV, and you've got to go through like big rings essentially.
Yeah.
And like you kind of like dive under the water, but I remember it being very dark, like it's lit with like a flashlight. So you can, and it's just very, very eerie. And as like probably like a 5 or 6 year old, I would say, it was fucking terrifying. And it's still, when I see that screenshot, it makes me very uneasy.
Yeah.
And then like the final boss was just like the big alien head that was like specifically
it's so
creepy.
scary. Like, can we shoot clip that into the video so that people can see it? Because it is. If you just go to Google, if you're not watching the video, if you're listening, just go to Google, look up Echo the Dolphin. It's one of the first pictures that comes up. It is like this weird Cthulhu-like monster. He has like the tusks in his face and those just big black eyes. Like it's even just as a picture, it's uncomfortable to look at. Yeah,
and it's so like when you're playing it, it's so large, and that's where I'm gonna try to get into explain this. I can never like fully articulate what I mean with this, but when I play video games, specifically ones as a child, and there's like I don't even know how to describe it, like an unknown part of like a level. You ever like have a game glitch where you like fall off of like a cliff and you get into like a weird area? Yeah,
and it just looks different and strange. Yeah,
for some reason that gives me like a sinking feeling of like especially if it's a game you've played. Like I remember playing Sonic, and like the game fucks up and you like fall down, or like there's one level in, I think it's Sonic 2, like the second level is like you're in what looks now in my adult life like you're in a bunch of lean because you're just in all this purple water. And there's like one part that it would happen to me like all the time, and it was clearly a glitch in the game because if you fall down in the water, like most video games, you die if you like hit the bottom of the screen. There's one part where you would just fall lower and it would just be you in this ocean, and I don't know, like I think because games were so comforting to me as a child
that like when something so weird and jarring happens,
something
like
different than, and like it's not supposed to be happening, and it feels, I don't know if something happened with the video game when I was a kid, but even as an adult, like
is it like that feeling where it's like it's almost like you're seeing something you're not supposed to be seeing, or like you're somewhere where you're not supposed to be, or like you're trying to turn down the volume on the jukebox at the bar and you get caught by the bartender.
Fuck that bitch. I don't like being yelled at, and I think she shamed
you like a dog. Like she was like, hey,
I know
she snapped at you.
I know. That very upset me. But it's also that thing where you revert to a child because you were doing something wrong. And
but you're like, I don't like being in trouble.
Yeah, and I don't think she even. I think she thought I just fucked it up. I don't think she knew had learned the secret to every bar. But yeah, I did not appreciate that. But yeah, it's something with like that feeling, and it's very eerie. Like you feel like something creepy could happen. Right. You know what I mean? Like, because it's this unknown, unsafe. Yeah, you're in well, for me, like especially platform games like that, like Crash Bandicoot, for example. You know, it's an enclosed world that you're in. You know, this isn't like a Skyrim type game where you're like going around. Like you're in a safe. And this world is the world is designed to be like colorful, bright, like it's supposed to be something that's comforting, and you
then not just
be able to go out of the boundary.
It's a uniform world where you're supposed to follow a certain path,
and especially like the older the game, it's weirder when you're able to get to those weird areas. And I think it is such a thing, like you play games to have fun and relax, and like anytime something's weird, because there's also a thing with Sonic the Hedgehog specifically. The game Sonic and Knuckles had the cartridge where you could put a cartridge in a cartridge.
Yeah,
if you remember that. Yep. We're so old.
And God.
So you could put in
Life's getting dark.
Sonic 2 and Sonic 3, and then you can play as Knuckles and that shit, and it was really innovative technology for the time. If you were to put a different game in that cartridge, which of course everyone did, it brought up a really creepy like all black screen with like Dr. Robotnik and them like laughing at you, and it just said like no, and it was like that sticks with me as well, because it's like And what it ended up being is if you get to that screen, you can like put in like a code and it sends you to like this bonus level. That's like the bonus level in the third one. All this shit. But yeah, like I have a really weird thing with like video games, old video games, and like forbidden areas creep me the fuck out. And it still gives me that same like sinking feeling when I see it now. All I think of with Echo is that game was so strange that the whole game felt like that feeling. Like I don't know what's going on.
It just felt like you shouldn't be there.
Creepy and dark, and it feels like when you watch a scary movie and they're like going into somewhere and you know something's gonna happen is like the epitome of Echo the Dolphin.
I had a
fuck that game.
Just to stay in line with the unknown area stuff, there was a video game I played that actually was a two-parter. It was called Carnivores, and then you had Carnivores Ice Age, and basically it was like a 3D, real shitty looking, like mid-2000s, like dinosaur hunting game. And so like you got points for finding different dinosaurs, and there was glitches I would find in the game because one of the toughest boss in the game, because this is back when video games were like challenging, like they were meant to be challenging. To kill the T-Rex in the game, you had to shoot it in the eye. That's the only place you could do it to kill it. And so I played this game so much that I figured out if you went to the highest mountain in the game, because it was really an innovative hunting game, because it had like dinosaur calls that you could do to like attract them, but then you had to be careful with how you approached because they would get like scared and run away. But like if you made noise, it would attract predators and stuff like that. So like it was really a fairly good AI system for the time. And so what I would do is I would go to the top of the tallest mountain in the game, and I would do the T-Rex call. And
you would play Ain't No Mountain High.
Doon, 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 doon.
That's you going up the mountain.
Doon, doon, doon. Listen, baby.
We can't license that.
A lot of singing in this episode again. I like this. I love the singing episodes. But so I would go to the very top of the tallest mountain, and I would do the T-Rex call. And then what would happen is one would come, and it would start circling around the mountain, but there was like something with the AI of the game where it would get stuck at one part, and it would just look like it was running, but like it was just like standing in place. And so I could take it and then pop it in the eye from right there. And it took me like hours and hours of figuring out how to do that. So it's like you get very comfortable and familiar with the world there, you know, because you start to figure out like, oh, these dinosaurs are here and these are here. You can track these better here. They had a Ice Age expansion that you could do where you were doing like Ice Age mammals and stuff like that, so like woolly mammoths and rhinos and stuff like that. And they had a secret combo that you could unlock where you could hunt a yeti, an abominable snowman. But they only appeared on this one island at a certain time of day, and you couldn't go on the island because they were like, it was like an insta kill the second you got on the island. So you had to like use a sniper rifle that you had to upgrade with a certain scope. And then you had to sit across from like this big gap of water and basically pick them off and then go like get the reward for it. And the reward for it was you like called a button out and it was like Erica, and then like a helicopter would come out of nowhere, come down with like just a big like plate looking thing that would touch the dinosaur or whatever and pick it up. And it's just like just laying there with like its eyes open and its mouth open, and it would pull you and it would just pull it up and fly away. And then you had a trophy room when you went back to the main menu, and there was all the dinosaurs that you killed.
And this is why we don't have dinosaurs anymore?
Pretty much, yeah. And in this trophy room you could you could like give the dinosaurs names, and it would have like the stats like weighed this much, took this much ammo, this much time, blah blah blah. But it was in like this enclosed area, so like you walked in through a door and it was like a big square room and the walls angled up and out. And what you could do is, because of the pixels in the game, the corners, you sound like you have like acid reflux or something. It's just disgusting.
I'm sorry, guys.
But so in the corner, like it was all, you know, pixeled and rough, so you could jump up on the corner and you could get above where your trophy room was. And when you got up there, it was just the sky pattern and then the ground pattern, like just the brown dirt forever. And one time I was like 11, 12, just bored out of my mind on a Saturday, no friends. And so for like 3 hours, I just hit the forward button and I just ran through this thing. And it was that same.
I would have been.
It was that same feeling.
Crisis.
Yeah, I was, because I'm just like running and running and running. And I just kept going. And like, I think I eventually just like found something to weigh on the forward button and just let it keep going, because I was like, there has to be something eventually.
What if there was?
And I just have like this image in my mind, because it had like the wind sound from the game behind it as well. So it's like this.
Yeah.
like no birds, no other animals, nothing, just wind, sky, dirt, and running. And when I think about it, it has that weird, uncomfortable feeling, like you're not supposed to be able to climb up the walls of that and go into this place, but clearly
you shouldn't be.
But the game, like the people who made the game designed it that way for a reason, but like it's just such a weird
and that's what
feeling.
like imagine like we could be video game developers right now because we're smart people, and I feel like people do put like weird shit in games sometimes to make things like that. Like I would probably do it now, be like, some little kid's gonna be uncomfortable.
There's a bunch of examples of it. If you look online for like hidden video game glitches, GTA has a ton of that stuff where it's like secret
stuff.
stuff.
Of weird shit
GTA has one where it's like you can it's like, I think it's San Andreas, or it's either 3 or San Andreas, and you can paraglide into a mountain.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah,
that.
you did do that.
Yeah,
and there's like all the like weird stuff in the bottom of the mountain, like the bones and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's
creepy.
It's like,
see,
why?
That I'm fine with because I have the knowledge going in. If I one day was just flying into a mountain and that happened, it would have scared the shit out of me.
There's a game out there, I can't remember the name of it right now, but it was like one of those 90s games where it was like all pixelated.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird games.
It was a Japanese game, but it was a metaphor for like abortion, I think it was, because it's a.
I think I.
Does this sound familiar to you?
I think I've looked into.
There's
it.
like 3 games, and the final boss is like this crazy nightmarish thing, but it's like you as the baby getting aborted, like your spirit is finally like as a baby, and like you're trying to fight.
I think I've looked into this. I never played it.
Yeah, I don't even want to I don't even want to look at the name because like I just feel like it's gonna be a nightmare fucking soup that I'm gonna dive into, and it's gonna be terrible, and then I'm gonna have to play it, and it's gonna be. Oh, Christ.
I gotta take a piss.
Do you?
Yep.
All right, bathroom break. Oh, my God. What a relieving piss.
You're telling me. Also, did we want to announce our little shindig?
We should have done this in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, we should have, but it's for true fans that listen.
It is for the true fans. So
40 minutes in.
Yeah, so something that we are planning out right now for you guys is
a mass cult suicide.
Yes, so bring your own Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
We provide the poison.
It was Flavor Aid that they drank.
Oh, man, good old Flavor Aid.
Good old Flavor Aid. The last thing you want to taste before. What if that's what they ran with? Flavor Aid, the last thing you want to drink.
The last thing you'll ever want to drink.
Yeah, what we're doing is
what do you want to call this? Like an orchestrated hangout almost?
Yeah, let's call it an orchestra.
Sure. An orchestra could be
form
there.
An orchestra. What we want to do is like a little like meet and greet, but not like a pretentious thing. Yeah, like a hangout meet and greet type ordeal.
So
what we want to do in the future, obviously, as we've touched upon, is do some live events where we would do a live podcast and party with everyone. And the only way that's going to happen is if you show all your friends this, and we can grow it. But what we want to do is a nice little taste test. I know some of the listeners were at Slim's fantastic Christmas party, and I feel like it was a nice little introduction to people I've heard about and us in real life.
Well, because if you want to think about it, that's really the first instance where we've been at a party together.
Yeah, with people who listen.
Right. And so like it's an interesting feeling, to say the least. Like it's kind of weird when people recognize you based just off of what they hear from you online.
Yeah, it's weird and neat. Yeah, it's just interesting. So what we want to do is try to build that up a bit. If you're in the Rockford area, our plan is officially to do a little meetup at CJ's Lounge downtown on Saturday, March 31st. This has absolutely nothing to do with CJ's.
No, there's no affiliation.
Very clear, no affiliation. We have gotten no permission. But what we were doing is basically just we're all going to just go to the bar. Nothing weird about that.
Yeah.
CJ's, get off our back. But yeah, we've had a lot of good nights there. It's a good open space nowadays to like meet up.
Yeah.
So we're going to do it at, I think, 8 p.m. There'll be a flyer out, hopefully, by the time this episode's out.
Yeah.
But yeah, just come down, have a couple drinks with us. The first 2 people to come up to us. And should they say something? I got to get some sort of signal.
First 2 people to come up to us and say full government name.
Yeah.
We'll get a drink of their choice on the dads. One from Drama, one from Slim.
Yep. We'll fist fight to see who gets to buy the person the first drink.
We will fist fight for the honor to buy you a drink. So yeah, really the whole point of this is just that with this show and this brand that we're producing and stuff like that, we want everyone to have as much involvement as possible. And if you've listened to the show and you've heard about our crazy nights that we've had, and you've heard about our drunk tales and stuff like that, and you think that's something where it's like you want to be a part of that, you can come do that with us. Because we obviously we have the show where we talk about our whole lives. We're approachable people. And we tend to think that, not to be cocky or anything, but I think we know how to have a good time. We know how to have a fantastic time.
Yeah, so if you want to come out and cry in our arms,
if you're gonna have
we're crying in your arms.
If you're gonna have two chaperones show you how it's done, let the dads show you a good time. So just once again, the information for that's going to be at CJ's Lounge, no affiliation.
Yes.
On March 31st at what time? 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. is when the meetup is going to be.
We'll be there for a bit. So if you have to work or something, come out. They got a good jukebox that we can get into and have some drinks.
The night is open, so we don't necessarily have to stay at CJ's the whole time. If we get a decent group and the group would like to go somewhere else, we can do literally anything. When it comes to a Dad Squad evening out, the rules are open and the book is yet to be written. So sometimes you just get terrible things that happen, like you go to the Roo and there's a bunch of drunk dads singing Motorin' by Sister Christian.
That's why we
and
can't
you gotta
be
wait
there anymore.
And you gotta wait a half hour in line for Pertales, and you almost rage kill everybody. But then there's some nights where you get to go down to the Prairie Street Brew House and you get to have a ton of fun and listen to music with your friends and clear out a whole room because you're very, very loud.
There's
a
lot of possibilities.
Some nights you get to go to a loft party and you get to see Slim go absolutely ape and go freaking bananas when Slava My Knob comes on. That was a moment, man. Let me tell you, that was
everyone there knew that was.
Oh my god!
But yeah, it's very open. CJ's I think is our best option because it's a very open bar.
We actually need to talk about that night because that was on Saturday.
Yeah, we had 2 back-to-back nights out.
Yes, we had. It was a Dad Squad double feature, if you want to put it that way. So after the show we recorded last week, we ended up going out, and so we started at CJ's. Yeah, and
because it's the best place to start.
Always the best place to start. Start off with some darts.
And we primarily stayed there.
Mostly, for a good part of it. My buddy Ham came out and he's been coming out with us for a little bit more.
He's just popping around.
He just pops up
no matter where we are.
It's great. I'm literally just like, hey man, I'm here doing this. What are you up to tonight? And then he just pulls up and he's like, how's it going, guys?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's wonderful. He's just imagine having a magic man that appears everywhere that you're having a good time, and that's essentially what happens. So we were at CJ's and then we ended up going to the Prairie Street Brew House for a little bit.
Yeah, where you were denied.
Where I was denied because of my expired license, which I got to get fixed, which I'm going to get fixed. I have a plan for it. It's called I'm going to get a fake ID because I don't want to deal with the DMV.
I understand.
I would rather pay $100 for a fake ID than deal with the DMV. Do you understand that?
When I was at the DMV, I'm pretty sure I told them I would pay $175 for this nightmare to be over. That was how much I was. And that's like not when you're like, I'd pay $10,000. Like I was like, I have $175
and I will
now.
give it to you.
It's a good amount of money. I need this to just be done.
I will trade you my time and energy to end my suffering, please. This is the most personal gift I could buy for myself.
But yeah, you were denied.
I was denied, but man,
that lady.
Let's harp on this.
Just to get on this.
Let's harp on the shitty bartenders this weekend.
It was so ridiculous. Me and Matt the God got up there first. He ordered a drink for himself, and I keep forgetting what we call her now.
Call who? Oh, Cosmic Mom.
Cosmic Mom. Yeah, him and Cosmic Mom, he got 2 drinks for them. She carded both of us. Then he goes and takes the drinks, and then he was like standing there to pay her or whatever. And then I was like, I want whatever beer I was getting. And she's like, what was that? And I was like, I don't know. And she's like, who's that for? And he was like, oh, that's for her. And she was like, oh. And he was like, do you want to see her ID? And she goes, no, it's fine. So then she turns to me and she's like, I need to see your ID. And I was like, you just saw my ID. And she was like, oh, okay. And then she's like, I need to see your guys' ID, you and Kurd.
Mm-hmm.
And then she turns to me. And she's like, what did you want? And I told her, and she's like, I need to see your ID. And I was like, we have been over this.
Like this?
I've shown you my ID,
I'm
and I will
pretty sure this woman
was
like a test out, like Elon Musk AI robotic bartender, and she just wasn't getting the human thing quite right.
Because then she like starts pouring my drink, looks at your guys' ID, and she leans under the taps, looks me in the face, and goes, Slim, I can't serve you. And I was like, that's not me.
It does say Fast Finger Slim on my driver's license. With the dollar signs as the S's like it's supposed to be.
It's so difficult for you to get it renewed.
I know.
But yeah,
because that's not what it says on my social security card for some reason.
She looks right at me. We're different looking people. And I was just like, that's not me. So then she goes, oh, I'm sorry. And then leans over and looks at you. And she was
finally matches up the faces.
Finally gets it.
Which I don't want to be this guy about it, but we have very different features to our faces.
I was hoping
to the point where that we are like, you couldn't even mistake us as brothers. Like we could be like second.
Yeah, because we've said brothers before, and people were like, no.
Nah, they were just like different moms and dads.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Same grandmas though.
But yeah, then she cut you off and told you to Kick rocks.
Yeah, and she
And then
told
you
me
just
to
drank everyone else's beer.
yeah, pretty much. She told me to kick rocks, so I treated it like it was a boulder, and then I just looked at her every time I was sipping out of your guys' beers. So
Yeah, fuck her. And then what? Then we just had a struggle of
well,
finding
yeah, because
places.
we wanted to go to Mandalay, but then there was like
There's a show and
it's like
a
a
cover.
$10 cover for
Yeah.
a local rapper that I don't even like, and it's
Yeah,
like, it's not
which
that I
I
don't like
heard
him,
was
but
bad.
like it just didn't sound good from what I heard outside.
We ended up at Blue Line.
Yeah, and they
which
were
I've
like
never been
20
to.
minutes to closing because they closed
Yeah.
at 1,
Yeah,
which is
weird.
weird.
Yeah.
But the girl was very, very nice.
Very
She was
nice.
very accommodating
Yeah.
to us.
Shout out to her.
She didn't punch me in the face when I asked for a Bloody Mary at 12:45 in the morning. You know, it was
Yeah.
very, very nice of her. And then we just ended up at Portales that night. Next night, I actually wasn't going to go out because
Yeah.
I had to be at work at 5 a.m. on Sunday. And I was like, well, if I go out with the boys, I'll definitely be out till about 3.
But
And
like a
so-
true dad.
But like a true dad who is not about to sit here and let the squad down, I powered through and came out. So what we ended up doing first was we ended up going to, what is the name of his bar? Zox?
I don't know.
It's like
They don't need
ZOX.
any.
It's we went to a undisclosed bar at an undisclosed location in Janesville to see some bands play. One of them is a band that you are trying to do something for.
Yeah, we're not.
We're not gonna get into
I'm
it.
gonna bleep that out.
Yeah, we'll just bleep it out. But we saw them. It was a good show. Tiny little bar.
Tiny bar.
Very small bar.
Shockingly. Couple quick things about the bar. One, it's not a good bar when at least half of your bar is taken up by the physical bar
Yeah.
itself. And then the area where you would play darts was the band. So that's one of those times when you're like, I don't know what I'm going to a show. I don't know what's going to look like. And you open the door and you're like, this wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah.
Because then we had to struggle by. And then there was a girl who gave us glow sticks.
Mm-hmm.
And then she threw a glow stick across the bar and it hit an old man in the face.
Yeah.
Which was beautiful. Then she ordered an entire pizza to the bar for herself. And then when I
ate it in front of us like a selfish
yeah,
bitch.
what the fuck is this? You just order. She like got up and was like, oh, and then walked in with an entire Pizza Hut pizza and was like, who the fuck does this? And then I tipped like $1 for 2 cheap beers. And she goes, oh, you tipped $1? And I couldn't hear what she was saying. And then it was some catty remark about how I didn't tip enough. And I was like, I don't want to be
The
at this
beer
bar.
was $2.
Yeah.
That's a 50% tip.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to be at this bar. And like this lady opened 2 shitty beers for me. One of them was a Busch Light. So like, you shouldn't even be required
No.
to tip for
Fucking
a Busch Light.
Wisconsin.
They should
What are you
give you
doing
money.
with your life?
Yeah, so I was very irritated with that girl. And then, yeah, the show was decent. And then it was kind of weird because we had driven out a decent way to see the band.
Mhm.
And then we were all like, we kind of don't want to stay. I don't know what it's going to be. And there was an art show going on in Rockford. So we made the trip back to Rockford.
Yes.
And then went to RKFD, had a winter art show. Shout out to them. It was a very nice experience.
It was a fantastic
We showed up
experience.
a little after 10 and it was ending at 11. So I was
Mhm.
like, I don't know what this is going to be like. It was popping. Saw some buddies there. Shout out Zen. Shout out Zenaissance Photography. That's Zenaissance with the X, Xen, however you spell the rest of that.
Look for Zen Kingsley.
Yeah, on
Is the
Facebook,
guy to look for.
on Instagram, it's Zentastic, I think is the
Fantastic all-around artist and a stand-up human being. Let me
Yeah.
just say that he is just
Let's,
he is a fun guy to talk to.
Yeah, that's my big brother. That's a fun one to tell people.
Yeah.
that is your brother. He does it all the time. And yeah, I saw some other people. Vic Monsta. It was good to see. Good group of people.
Mhm.
They had a nice bar.
They had a drink called Henny Made Me Do It, which I insisted on getting.
Yep. And then I tasted it and I was like, oh, I need that. And some of you might have seen the picture of me holding my 2 beers.
doing a
and
hat trick.
Yeah, what I call the hat trick, which is where you hold 2 beers in one hand and a small cup of Hennessy.
You got very, drunk very quickly.
Very quickly. Yep.
There was one point, and this was how I would describe this evening as pinnacle. We were all very drunk. The DJ was playing a fantastic mix of songs, and everybody was getting pretty rowdy. There was like a good dance circle going on in the middle. I myself was making my way in and out of it, getting a little
there's
ridiculous.
some fantastic dancing.
Oh my
Not
god!
from you per se, but
Yeah, there was some good
fantastic
dancing. And then the DJ proceeded to play a mix of "Slob on My Knob" by 3 6 Mafia, "Plain Jane" by ASAP Ferg, and "No Problems" by G-Eazy. And I love all those songs. I lost my goddamn shit. I turn around and Andronicus has showed up, and he is just standing there laughing his ass off.
He was like, "What's he doing?" And I was like, "I don't know."
He described the way he described it to me later is he said that it looked like Barney doing the truffle shuffle, but with a lot of swag.
That's nice. I could see that.
Because he was telling one of my buddies, he's like, it was probably disgusting. He goes, "No, man, it wasn't disgusting. It was like watching a man just stake his claim in the world." He's like, he was just out there just doing it, and he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I do commend your ability to give no fucks.
Man, you know what? It's like this is my life, and this is the meat vessel my body has to be in, and it's like I'm gonna have fun while I do it. And it's like if people are gonna judge me for being like 60 feet tall and millie rocking to fucking 3-6 Mafia at a loft at 10:30 at night in Rockford while everybody's sipping Henny and getting ignorant, like there's no.
They drank all the Henny.
All the Henny got
more
drunk.
Henny.
Yeah,
he was
literally.
like, "We've got Remy," and I just said 2 PBRs.
Yeah, literally.
Because I didn't know what the Remy was going to
Well, you know what they say, man? They say anything is possible.
Yeah, that really helped me.
Yeah.
I had quite a few drinks in a short amount of time. It kept going after 11. That's what
Well,
I
yeah,
appreciated.
because then, we
couldn't stop it.
No, literally, after that point, the evening was unstoppable. Curd pulling through helped that dude jump his car out in the parking lot.
Shout
See,
out,
we're
Murph.
not just out here getting drunk and having a fun time. We're out here helping people. We're out here we ended up giving Zen a ride because he was walking down the road, and so we picked him up, brought
very
him back.
confusing
Oh,
part
it was
of
so
time.
confusing, but man, it was a good time though.
Yeah. And
We ended up going back to CJ's for what I just want to say was a fantastic round of darts. I was personally going back and forth between pool sharking and darts. I was kicking ass at darts too.
I wouldn't say that.
I came in second.
No.
Yes, I did.
No.
100% I came.
No.
Listen, don't listen to this bullshit, man. I came in second in darts, and I will not accept otherwise.
Sure, we can all fabricate on a podcast. I came in -3rd.
Yeah, it was crazy.
-3rd. But yeah, then
CJ's for the rest of the night until we went to Portales and got stuck in hell.
Yeah,
because it was.
I don't even want to talk.
I don't even want to talk about it. It was
very
such
upsetting.
it was such a good night that we had because there was so much variety to it. It's like we had crazy good rock, crazy good loft party, nice chill CJ's experience.
Yeah, and everybody was at CJ's.
Hell, just to get some fucking food, man. It was terrible. We didn't even get out. We were in there for what, an hour and a half? It felt like.
I don't know.
Waiting for the service, and then like not getting the service for a while, and then like the food, and then just waiting to pay. Like, oh my god, I was going to kill those guys in front of us.
I think we all were.
Oh god,
I don't want to go back to that dark place.
It left a bad taste in my mouth, man. We're gonna have to go somewhere else for a while.
Yeah, I need to take a break. I've been going there too much anyway.
Same,
it's not
yeah.
healthy.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But yeah, it was a good night. So again, come hang out with us. You've got time to prepare, find a babysitter, even if you don't have kids, because that's the type of night it's going to be.
Speaking of fun hangouts, earlier this week on Wednesday, had a nice hangout at my place. Oh, we got to get into this because
I don't want to. This is going to take too long, and I wasn't involved, so it means nothing to me.
Okay, well, this was your choice. You didn't want to be involved because
it wasn't my fucking choice. Some people have responsibilities.
Listen,
just because you live a life full of picking daisies doesn't mean we can all go lollygag in a garden.
Listen, man, they could have been rescheduled.
I'm gonna bleep that out. Some people think it was crazier than it was.
Yeah, it was actually, for the record, it was lame as fuck why you didn't show up. So the whole reason you're being
No, I told you.
The whole reason
on
you're
Wednesdays,
being,
I go under a bridge.
It's getting
I find a drifter, and we give each other rusty trombones. You know that. It has always been that.
And I told you to pinch it. I told you to squeeze it out early, pinch it off, and come by my house.
He's not available like that. You know that. You know Ted doesn't have that kind of life.
Yeah, I'm aware. I understand. He's under the bridge. He's got nothing to do but rusty trombones, and I feel like if the man's practicing doing rusty trombones all day, then there's no reason he shouldn't be able to knock one out in an allotted amount of time.
Waiting list, and we give each other rusty trombones.
Well, it's not my fault. You're slow and sloppy with it.
You know how I love.
Why won't you love me, bitch? But okay, so since Drama's just gonna be a salty baby, he can just have a cigarette for a second and just.
No, it's gonna be 45 minutes of you discussing food.
Yeah. Okay, well, basically what happened was young Curd and Matt the God ended up coming over because at young Curd's request, he has decided to let me teach him how to cook because the man does not know how to cook, unfortunately.
Ladies, young Curd is looking for love, and he knows how to make you chicken parmesan now.
Yes.
Do you think he learned? I don't think he learned.
Okay,
I wasn't there.
I don't want to incriminate people for things that we were doing while I was teaching him how to make chicken parmesan. But for the record, I taught him how to make homemade marinara sauce.
Okay.
I made a homemade sauce and it was good as fuck. I made breaded chicken parmesan. I taught him how to like pound it out and bread it correctly. So
The only way I can co-sign this is he has to make us this identical meal now and see how the stats stack up.
See if he remembered anything from it.
Yeah.
But like I can't help him out at all. I just have to sit there like this staring at him the whole time, just like silently judging him.
Sweating.
But no, I taught him how to make breaded, like how to bread and fry things, and then how to batter and fry things. And then he got to know the lovely joy of Crispies, which if you go to Long John Silver's, you can order a box of the Crispies, and it's just the fried bits of batter that get stuck in there. So when I was making the battered eggplant, I was making the Crispies for him, and he'd never had Crispies in his entire life. The whole concept was foreign to him, and it was crazy. Because I told him how my grandma used to specifically, every time we go to Long John Silver's, buy 2 boxes of the Crispies. Specifically, they're only like $1 for a big thing because it's just fried batter.
It's a disgusting thing.
But the evening itself, it went really, really well. I like teaching people things. I feel like I explain things.
Why don't you teach me how to love then?
Because I've been trying, but no matter
what. It's hard for me.
I've been trying to teach you how to love, but no matter what I do, your rusty trombone skills still suck.
I'm working with Ted.
My buddy Ted's going to listen to the show now. He's going to think it's
Ted,
him.
I'm working with you.
Which, we do have to read that off, by the way.
I forgot that one, yeah.
But no, so we just chilled. We had a really nice evening. There was a lot of lightly flavored wine. I want to point that out. I don't know why every time things convene at my house, there's a bunch of like fruity wine that shows
Kurt's
up.
on a wine kick.
We talked about that a bit. He wants to go to like a wine tasting and stuff like that. He wants us to all like do a wine thing, and I'm like, I don't think I have a outfit that's acceptable for doing wine tasting. I mean, yeah, I don't
like wine.
I'm just like, this is alcohol. It's gonna get me drunk. I'm not like, this has a bitter oak root notes.
Yeah, maybe he'll get into good wine, and then we can piggyback.
Well, and then Matt,
the wine I've had.
Well, and then Matt the God brought over a peach wine too, it was delicious. It was so good.
I've had some good wine. There's one specifically I'm looking for. If anyone can track down a blue bottle of Nando's strawberry wine, I bought it out of a clearance cart one time at Woodman's, and it changed my life. And there were several bottles, and then I've never seen it again.
If you can send
I've done a lot of research, and apparently it's only available in New Jersey.
If you will send me 3 gallons of either Thunderbird or Boone's Farm, I will love you forever.
Yeah, some of us have taste. But,
yeah. No, my mom used to get drunk off of Boone's Farm. She used to tell me,
mom.
Oh, you ain't fucking kidding, man. The 80s were fucking wild.
My mom drank UV Blue a lot.
I also drank UV
Sparks?
Blue a lot. Oh, not Sparks. I never did Sparks.
You never did Sparks?
Oh, God.
Someone around me was drinking Sparks like 2 years ago, which sounds like a long time, but Sparks was like over a decade ago, and I didn't know they still made it. That was the original.
Yeah, it was
energy drink.
Yeah,
beer. Fuck your life.
Oh,
get ready to die.
Yeah,
I can still taste it.
The pre-4 Loko. But I like to now. I didn't just show him how to cook. I actually made him do the stuff along with me. So I feel like, and I asked him at the end when we were eating everything, and he told me straight up. He said it's the best chicken parmesan he's ever had in his life.
Wow.
And he goes, I asked him, I was like, do you feel like if someone gave you all of the ingredients that I used tonight, you could cook it? And he was like, yeah, I feel like I could do that. So I feel like if nothing else,
we got to just spring up at his house with the ingredients and be like, it's go time.
I mean, honestly, it took 2 hours to cook everything because like I said, I made the marinara sauce and we had to do the batter for the eggplant and the breading for the chicken and stuff. Yeah. But overall, it was a fantastic meal. Overall, it was just a really good time. I'd like it if we. No, I want you to come out next time because I'd like it if we could have like Dad Squad nights where like I teach Cole how to cook something and then we can just eat what we cook. Because like
that's beautiful. Do it on nights when I'm not under a bridge.
You are the saltiest human being I've ever heard, and if it wasn't for your own disgusting sexual appetites, you could have been there. But no,
this is all I've been hearing my whole life, and it's not gonna stop now.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna stop bitching about it either. So you're gonna have to decide how dedicated you want to be to the show if you're gonna keep getting rusty trombones on Wednesdays.
Speaking of disgusting sexual appetites, we got another tweet that I forgot to mention from Ted. Shout out Ted. He said one of our best reviews.
This is officially the best review. So Ted, thank you very much for this.
It's very heartfelt. It's on Twitter. Go follow us and you can see it. But it says, the best, bizarre, all over the place, hilarious, profound, insane, repulsive, disgusting, vulgar, visceral, make you think podcast I've ever listened to. Check it out if you want to simultaneously vomit and piss yourself laughing.
That is our aesthetic.
That sums up what I've been waiting for one review that I'm like,
sums us up.
Can get behind that.
Honestly, I think we should use that for like promotion and stuff. Like if people are like, what's the show about? Like we at least need to like screen cap that and put it on the Instagram because that is such a beautiful glowing review.
We're gonna put it out there. It's beautiful and we Sincerely appreciate
Ted,
it.
once again, thanks a lot, man. Thanks for just checking out, leaving the review. Thanks for checking out the show, man. Me and Ted go back quite a ways. We didn't speak for a while, but we did catch up recently, and it was so nice because it's like, you know, those situations, and because we had this for a long time, we're like, we wouldn't see each other for a bit. Yeah, I hated your guts because like I kept trying to hang out with you, but you were like, the trombones, they call me.
Well, you were the trombone, and then when you
and then you did that weird thing where
the tongue.
my tongue, but it was like
my
like
balls.
No, it was like your
asshole.
not your pinky toe, but like that ring
Oh
toe.
yeah, because I can get that one to lift up.
Yeah, and like you did that thing that just it made
like, I think it's the like. But people have told me it's a little bit more aggressive.
I wasn't uncomfortable, but I could see that Ted was, because you were making him watch it.
Well, yeah, I need to. As with any sexual encounter I've ever had, I need a third person to
absolutely.
Like, you know, it's
watch
like learning
and judge.
to drive.
Yeah.
I need tips. I don't know.
Got to have that backseat driver.
Because you just get in there and like you're like, oh, this is what it's like.
I
just push back and forth for a while.
Can't be pitching dick like you're scooting in a chair, man.
No, not at all. That's what this podcast was founded on.
What, the principle of not pitching dick like you're scooting in your chair?
Mm-hmm. Ever sit on your balls? Anyway, we got a submission.
No, because I'm not that old.
We should get into because we've been rambling.
Yeah.
This submission comes from Bill O'Reilly.
Oh,
and I
God.
just wanted to say real quick, fuck you, Bill O'Reilly.
Fuck Bill O'Reilly.
Why didn't you stand up to Cameron? Remember when he was like, you mad? You mad?
Man, if you can't stand up to Cameron, who the fuck you gonna stand up to?
Cameron got shot and drove himself to the hospital, so I wouldn't stand up to Cameron. He gets computers Putin.
I just heard a story about somebody who had like a wicked bad bladder infection that went unchecked for like a month until they were just like puking all the time, and they puked as they were driving themselves to the hospital out the window the whole time.
Oh, if we want to get puking in and out of cars. Anyway,
we could
so
have
Bill O'Reilly, fuck you and fuck Pepsi. Shout out Ludacris. It's
this is all.
Bill O'Reilly's
shout
an
out
old
Ludacris.
bitch.
Shout out Ludacris. Fucking knock off Mountain Lightning.
Oh yeah, don't get me started
on Mountain Lightning.
Yeah. Anyway, so this submission came to the website from Bill O'Reilly himself, and it's titled Questions of Love. Says, what's up, dads? First off, I want to say I love the show. I feel like you guys really nail my comedy aesthetic.
Fantastic.
Aesthetic was not in all caps, so I don't want to be a dick, but learn how to.
We don't scream it with as much enthusiasm anymore.
Yeah, we've lost all of our enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Anyway, it says, I just wanted to get the dadly opinions on the topic of staying friends with an ex, especially if it was a very serious relationship. I recently got into a new relationship, and my new partner is understandably not a fan. Keep up the great work, guys. Thank you for your submission and your love of the show.
Yes, thank you so much for checking us out. We appreciate that we are your aesthetic type. One of the things we were talking about before the show is that I believe our brand has a certain aesthetic that I can't quite put my finger on, but it is most certainly us. And I think that when you talk to us, we are just the embodiment of everything that we put out. Literally, it's just extensions of ourselves.
Try to put your finger on us.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Try.
How many fingers?
So I have some opinions about this, just because I have lots of opinions about
life,
just
love
life.
in the pursuit of bitch.
Yeah, literally life, love, and the pursuit of bitches. Fast finger slim. Well, what were we gonna call the autobiography?
Oh, fuck! I wish I remembered.
It was like I vaguely remember someone jacking off in the corner.
Yeah,
that's gonna be the autobiography.
Yep.
So. Everything about this question, the setup is circumstantial with everything, because
very much so.
No two people are the same, and no two relationship is the same. What I can say from my personal experience of the serious relationships that I would consider like defining life relationships, there's about 5. The first
five
2
quick ones.
Yeah, 5
quick, really long
5
ones.
really long ass,
5
soul sucking, dick crushing, ball mashing, brain shrinking inducing, murder threatening, life awful, goddamn shit fuck nightmare piss fuck relationship bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just me and you.
Yeah, that's just our relationship, you fucking bitch. My first 2 girlfriends, I were very, very serious about. Would not want contact with either one of them, because the one we ended in such a terrible way that it's like, you know what, I just kind of want to close that chapter on my life and not deal with it. if she did reach out to me, I can't say I'd be hostile, but it's not something I would reciprocate. I wouldn't be like, I want to be your friend. I want to see what you've been up to. Same with the second one, the one I was engaged.
Would you fight her in a Hooters parking lot?
Oh, I'll fight any bitch in a Hooters parking lot, man. You think I'm
Just
not
a
out?
couple from
man,
Hooters?
you think I'm?
Oh, you took your break at the wrong time, bitch.
3 quick Hooters fights, man. I will. Man, you trying to catch it? You a bitch that's wronged me and trying to catch a fade outside of Hooters? We can set a time, a date, anything. You want a Dapper hangout? Dapper catch these motherfucking fists outside of Hooters, bitch.
Yeah, that's a different event.
Yeah, that's the secret event that you have to listen to the $40,000 page.
CJs.
Yeah, after CJ's.
Are we going to Los Portales?
No,
quite.
we're going to not quite.
Speeding all the way to Hooters.
Ignoring every red light, just making everyone uncomfortable.
And I'm just like, I told you, it gets wild.
playing Lil Pump very loudly in the car. Eyes out, check. Eyes out, ring.
Not even driving because you're just cracking your knuckles.
I'm just
and they don't stop cracking, and you're like, that doesn't sound
driving
good.
with my knees, just making everyone so horribly upset. But my third girlfriend, this episode is fucking crazy, man. It is everywhere.
I hope someone jumped in on
I hope this is someone's first episode, because this one is pure comedy gold all the way through.
It's the best we'll ever do.
My God. Sincerely, until we record the next one and it's lackluster.
Ooh, bitch. They're all bad.
Ooh, bitch. Get out the way. Get out the way.
Ludicrous.
Fucking Ludacris, man. What the fuck happened to Ludacris? What's he doing these
I don't
days?
want to get into it, but
Okay,
I saw him live.
you don't want to
and
get
he
into
was-
a lot of things.
I don't, because a lot of things hurt. I saw him live, and he had to read the lyrics off of his phone.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
And the girl yelled at me for being too tall. Fuck that bitch.
Yeah, fuck that bitch. I can't control my height.
Yeah, she was like, I bought a ticket, and I was like, shit, me too.
I bought a ticket.
Like,
I didn't ask to be born.
yeah, she was like, I didn't buy a ticket to stand behind some fucking tall guy. And I
Well,
was
it's
like,
like,
me neither.
you wanna
It's
come
a
get-
sea of people. There's 40,000 people
You
here.
can come get in front of me.
I
I'm going to
can't see
grind on you, though.
Ludacris.
I just see him on that big screen looking
Yeah.
at his iPhone. But my third girlfriend, we ended very, very badly. But about 2 years later, we actually reached out to each other, and we were both just kind of like, hey, we did some fucked up shit to each other. We were in fucked up places in our lives, but that's not who we are anymore, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And she messaged me, and she was just like, hey, I just want to get this out of the way. I'm sorry for the things that I did to you. You know, I was crazy back. She actually says this. She says I was crazy back then, but I'm not crazy now. And
That's what they all
which-
say.
yeah, that's she. I've talked to her in person. She came into my work once. She was just shopping, and we chit chatted, and like it was nice, you know, because it felt like, because obviously in any relationship, the whole reason you're not just if you're in a relationship, you're not just attracted to that person for the sex aspect of it. You're attracted to them because you like hanging out with them, because you like their company, you think they're funny, you know. And it's like, you can't just deny that there was a strong connection there between people, you know, whether or not that connection is something whether or not that connection is something that needs to be rehashed is always up for discussion, because there is people that you can just cut out of your life and they don't need to be there.
Yeah, don't ever get back with your exes.
Never get back with your exes. That is a Dapper tip right there for you.
That's
It
that'll save you years.
That is
boys and
100% proven to not work. Do not ever get back with an ex. Now, and I don't want, like,
Unless
we're
you
not
get
like,
back with them to cut their brakes.
yeah.
Don't get back with them.
Now, we're not like friends. I'm not going to say we like hit up each other all the time and see how we're
Yeah.
doing. But like every now and again, like if something comes up, we'll like chit chat with each other. We'll be polite with each other, you know? But I've never had an ex where it's like I felt like I wanted to have that closeness with them
Yeah.
again, you know?
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like, in my opinion, with some relationships, there's too much tainted there. It's like the being so romantically involved with someone does taint your worldview of that person. And it's like, I can't really talk to any of my exes except for her, because they all ended in such a way where it's like, you're kind of a shitty person and I don't want you in my life anymore.
Yeah.
You know? So, but if you had a personal experience with someone where it ended amicably and you're like, you know what, this didn't work between us, but I love you as a person, I love your company, let's just try to be friends, you know? Obviously, that's something that takes time, but if it's something that you can successfully do, I see 100% no problem with it, you know?
Yeah.
When I'm with somebody, I don't care if they're friends with an ex or not, because to me, it's like, if you're in a relationship, that person is with you, you know? So it doesn't matter, like, who, like, lusts after that person or who looks at that person, who wants to be with that person.
But
that
it
person's
is-
coming home to you, you know?
Yeah, but it is always very weird. I have the same, hate all of my exes, and I don't care to ever see them again, and I don't really wish a lot of great things for them, because I'm a petty person.
Yeah.
But
Who'd have thunk it?
weird. But yeah, I've always been not a fan of my significant other being friends with their exes.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Why
more,
is that?
I just don't like, I don't know. I just don't like that. It's weird. I think the older I've gotten, the more I get more okay with it over time.
That is 100%
again,
true. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the younger I was, I'm like, fuck that guy. Like,
Oh
that,
my God. I don't even
100%.
want to talk about me back. Like there was some things I did.
Yeah.
And
We've all been like immature little assholes. But either way,
girls,
I feel like,
and they know too much.
oh God, that hits too close.
Mm-hmm. They know some things.
But yeah, I think it's weird. And like I said, the older I get, the more I think I'm okay with it. I think, like you said, it's just so very circumstantial. You know what I mean?
And to me, it's like
have you been together? Like, this says it was a very serious relationship. So
yeah,
it all depends. Like, how long were you together? Did you live together? Did you have like pets together?
That's
Did
like
you
what I
merge
said.
your bank accounts? Did you guys cut each other's palms open and rub your blood together when you started?
Did you
dating?
like have an Antichrist moment where your son died and fell out the window? And then
then that paints a whole different picture.
Right, and like, so I mean, I wish we could get some more background on this, because it's like, if it's something where like because there is something to be said, like you're always gonna love that person, you know, you're gonna love who you were, loved that person at that time, you know, and while you may not be that person, you did love them, and you can't deny that, because that's how you know that person, you know. But if it's something where that's how you define that person, then you shouldn't be around them, especially if you're with somebody else, because it's like you should be putting 100% of that energy into your relationship.
And what I think it really boils down to, if I can give advice, and like I said, I've never been in like this type of situation, but I think it's just a big thing with communication.
Absolutely.
I would talk to your partner and be like, so, you know, just talk it out. Like, what don't you like about this idea of me being friends? That's the only way it works, because then if you're not talking about it and you're still trying to be friends with your ex, that looks weird. Yeah. And then you got to think about like the events. Like, so if you really want to be friends, like, is it a friendship like one of your homies, or is it like you said, like, where you're not like friends, but you might talk or catch up or go get coffee?
Like, I would I'm never gonna call her and be like, let's go get lunch or something. But like, if I saw her in public, like, I would stop and catch up and see how she's doing.
Yeah, and I think most people are fine with like the catching up. This sounds like someone you want to keep in your life while keeping your new relationship. Like, I just got to talk it out. And one of the best things to do is maybe get them together. I know that sounds like a fucking nightmare, but
no,
if you
it's
say,
the way to do it.
This is someone that I want as a friend, and as I would treat, you know, any of my friends, I'd obviously want them to meet who I'm with now. Right. So just go out to a bar or whatever you do, go to an arcade together, get them to meet each other and try to see. There might be, because I know people who, like, their exes are now best friends with their current girlfriend and shit. Right. Like, it does happen. I think it's weird and I can't fathom it just because I've never been in that situation.
It wouldn't bother me, no. Like, yeah,
I don't think it would bother me anymore, but you definitely... Yeah, you need them to meet first off. Yeah, feel things out with that, and just kind of tell both parties, like, I want to be a friend to this person, and this is my new, you know, lover that I bang all the time. Yeah, and like just
the things I used to do to your pussy, I do to her pussy now,
or to their dick. Who I don't know what I mean. It's Bill O'Reilly, and he's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
but,
so who knows what he's doing with balls and wieners and pussy flaps?
But yeah, like try to put it together, and then make sure like. There's a difference between like, hey, I'm friends with my ex, and like say I have a girlfriend and she's gonna go out with her ex and they're going to get lunch on like a Tuesday at noon. Okay. That's a difference from like, hey, I'm going to this guy's house at 11, we're gonna watch a movie. Right. That's where I feel like in the past I've had like girlfriends who are like, yeah, I'm gonna go over to my ex's house, he's having a couple people over, we're gonna get real high and drunk, and I'm like, that doesn't lead to good things. Right. So always put forth, like, you got to keep it in your mind, even if I'm assuming you have no attraction, what's done is done, but you got to look at it from the outside perspective. There's activities you can do that seem wholesome and friendly that hopefully you can incorporate your current partner in, so everyone feels together, and maybe you can make that work better. Yeah. But if not, make sure you're doing things that don't look sketchy. Right. Because, like, the way my mind goes is, even I do the same shit with, like, a girlfriend who has just male friends. They're like, we're gonna go do this thing, and it's like totally normal, like, we're gonna go to the apple orchard. I would be like, why wasn't I invited? But like, that's different. Apple orchard is kind of like cute though.
Man, so can we go to the apple orchard together this fall? Yeah, like just you and me.
Oh yeah,
good. Okay,
of course. But yeah, just think that through. Like, the things you're doing can sound weird, and like, it's also never good to like go like don't try to hide anything. Don't go to a party knowing your ex is going to be there and then somehow it comes up or there's pictures. Just be very surface about everything so they know what's going on. Honestly, because anything can look sketchy, and if you have like a mind like I do where you're like, I'm cool with, you know, my partner going out with their ex, but then weird things like that happen, then I'm gonna be like, I'm not cool with it anymore, and I'm gonna bottle it up, and it's gonna ruin our relationship. So it's just a lot about communication. Everything with a relationship is communication.
Man, to piggyback off of just to piggyback off of what you're saying, like, fellas, communication is not that hard. I understand that like in male culture there's like this thing where you're not supposed to like talk about your emotions or your feelings and stuff like that, but literally the most success I have found in relationships is to be very open and communicating and honest. And that's something that I personally struggle with. I am not a great communicator. But it's like it's something that I work on every single day. You know, I need to work on being a better communicator, like a better lover, a better partner, you know. And the best way to do that is be brutally honest and communicate everything, because it's like when you really communicate things, communication with your partner is the key to everything, especially with a committed relationship. You want that person to feel not just comfortable, but you want to respect them with your actions all the time as well, you know? And even if when you were talking about like the whole like sneaky thing and stuff like that, there's a difference between like, you know, leaving out things because like you're just nonchalant and you forget about it, and doing things that seem sneaky and purposefully leaving details out. Because I'm the type of person who enjoys a good time, you know.
So I've heard.
So that's the word on the presses anyway. if you read the papers these days, extra, read all about it. Fast Finger Slim's about nothing but a good time.
Don't need nothing but a good time.
My theme song that plays everywhere I go.
I heard that at a bar one time, and I was really drunk, and I lost my mind.
Got real rowdy, but no, really the most success I've had with women is to just be communicative. And like, fellas, don't be afraid to. You don't gotta like open up. When I say like open up, I don't mean like share your sad, dark, traumatic emotions. So you can
you gotta space that shit out.
But like, if you're mad, tell your partner that you're mad, but don't scream it, don't yell it. Just communicate. Be like, hey, yo, that's frustrating. I don't like that. You know, I feel.
Hey, yo, that's frustrating.
Well, my thing is, that's my thing. If you're gonna be with somebody, that's your partner. That's supposed to be like your ride or die. That's your best friend. You know, and it's like, how are you gonna have a partner and not just be chill with them? You know, I don't like being that guy who is like one way around his friends and then one way around his girlfriend. That's the worst. Because like you see your buddy and he's like all fun and shit like that, and then he gets around his girl and he's all like quiet and weird.
That's what happened to all of my friends.
I know, and it's awful. Like, but for me, it's like communicating with women really isn't that hard, but guys make it out like it's so hard to be like.
Just gotta. It's like communicating with anyone. I hate lack of communication, and I've never been the best. I'm the best I've ever been at it, and like. Relationships are a lot of work, and there's a lot of weird shit that you got to deal with.
Honestly, as I feel like
two people in a room is a lot of you know what I mean?
Yeah,
maintaining
just between
a relationship
the two of
with
us.
humans is fucking crazy. So when you're putting your genitals together, it becomes a whole other world of problems.
So honestly, I pretty much agree with drama in this instance. It's like as long as there's good communication and you get them to like talk to each other and know each other, because that's the big thing. If you're going to integrate different parts of your life together, because you have to do what makes you happy, you know? And if you find yourself being like, this person's company makes me happy, you know, their friendship gives me an outlook on life and a perspective that I respect and appreciate, and I want to be around that more, communicate that with your partner. Because if someone
always understand as well that it is an awkward situation. There's a lot of things where people are like, I don't get why I can't do or act this way, and it's like we have to accept that it's awkward for the other person.
Well, and it's like
understand where they're coming from, put yourself in their shoes as much as you can, but and then just talk it out and try to make it work. I don't think someone should be like, you can't be friends with anyone. I've had exes be like, don't be friends with your hood rat friends because you get in trouble with them, and like literally be like, it's me or them, and it's like, no.
a real and that's my thing. A real partner is not going to make you. They're not going to give you ultimatums for things in your life, because a real partner is going to look at you and they're going to be like, this person had a life before me and they had interests before me and things before me.
Yeah.
They have things that they do to fulfill themselves as a person that I don't always understand and I'm not going to like.
Yeah.
But you have
Pay
to
hookers to beat me with soap and socks.
I mean, it's the only way I can get off. Like,
Yeah,
I
anymore.
can't be in touch with my emotions. It just has to be absolutely like in fucking sane if I'm gonna get off. Let's just be 100% real.
It's
It's
a lot
just
of
gotta
things.
be
It's the culmination of
mindlessly
years of-
senseless, just self abuse.
Yeah.
Just all the horribleness, the pain that I've just wrenched out.
Stop. I'm gonna nut. Boy, I'm about to do it.
So how did the podcast end? I don't know. He kept screaming about how he was gonna nut, and then he just screamed I had to do it to him, and I left, and I decided I'm never gonna talk to his ass again.
Could you imagine?
So just to recap for the X thing, this really is a whole circumstantial thing. But if you are really dead set on being friends with this X because this person does mean a lot to you, just at your core, communicate that with them. Really, just let your partner know it's not from a place of like attraction. You're not trying to still be with them. Let them know why you want that person in your life. Because what kind of partner is going to listen to you explain who you are and what you love and not like appreciate that understanding, you know? Because to me, when someone opens up about like why they love something or why they do something or why their behavior is like this, it's like that person is letting you know them more and they're becoming more intimate with you. And it's like, how could I have a partner open up to me and not just be accepting and like listen to that? You know, it's like you would, even if you don't agree with it, you at least need to take their feelings into consideration and be like, while I don't agree with what you're saying, I respect that you feel that way, and I want us to come to a compromise where we can both be happy.
Yeah, and you never know. You might hate the ex in like a month. You know, a lot of friendships fall apart.
And it's like who knows? Maybe like y'all hang out and it'll just be really awkward, and then like you'll just
maybe you guys hang out and then they get together.
Yeah.
Then you're going to be then send us that.
Yeah, send us that. Let us know what... Man,
send us how juicy that gets.
Yeah, because, I mean...
Hope it's two dudes docking.
Of course
hope it's the 80s hair metal band docking.
Oh, man.
I hope your ex is the entire 80s hair metal band docking.
And you're docking
And that would be difficult to get over. If my girlfriend was like, oh, yeah, I kind of want to hang out with my ex. And I'm like, oh, I'd be down to meet him. And she's like, them?
Them?
And you're like,
who?
No, it's just the 80s hair
you
metal
go
band
out to
docking.
CJ's and it's
like,
docking.
Like, they're playing their own songs in the jukebox. You know I can't compete with this. They had hit after hit.
They don't have
85 to 87 was a docking run.
Nobody's
gonna all know. I turn around, my jean jacket has a docking patch on the back. I'm like, I wish you would have told me.
Nobody's
gonna wore this.
Now I look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course they're still gonna be into you. I'm over here looking like your merch guy, and I know their merch guy Bill was fucking a killer. He fucking the spreadsheets. If you look on their website, they for some reason posted the spreadsheet,
which is
it's
odd.
Incredible, odd choice. Probably why they kind of fell off over time.
They faltered.
But you know, we all make mistakes.
They're playing a show at the bar that night, and they're just like looking at her the whole time while they're playing. You're just like, ooh.
Yeah, all the songs are really sexual, and you're like, I don't even remember this.
They just
material.
keep over and over, and they're just like, I'm looking for a good time. It's like, that's not even your song.
Yeah. They're like, she's my cherry pie. I'm like, that's Warrant, and we've all made the mix up. Doc and Warrant. It was the time of the 80s, but
we get the joke.
This seems just very specific.
This is self-deprecating. It's disgusting, and I won't be a part
She's like the girl from the video, like scantily clad. They're like, bring her up on stage. I'm like, could you just? And she's like, I told
fellas,
you.
out of respect.
She's like, I told you I wanted to be friends with him. Like, you didn't say you were going to be getting on the cherry pie.
They're
and
like
he's
spraying her
like,
with fucking cherry pie filling and shit.
They're
She's
spraying her
like,
with whipped cream. Like, this definitely we did like communication. She's like, I told you that they love to spray on me, and it's like, I thought it meant something else.
I thought it was semen.
I was very good when you brought that up. I didn't even.
I didn't flinch. I didn't get mad. Your eye did that thing.
Open.
I know you were keeping it in because your eye did that thing. Well, maybe I was. But
yeah, look at my eyes now. They're just twitching like Warren. Warren is probably.
What other 80s hair metal bands have you fucked?
She's like, I don't want to get into it. It's all of them.
Oh, God.
Her jean jacket is
Wasp.
just like check marks.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Wasp. I'm like, with the fucking blade codpiece?
Oh.
Did he touch you with that blade codpiece?
Guar. She fucked Guar.
Yeah, it was
back
just
in
a lot
the
of
80s.
blood before he died.
Oh, God. 30 years before he died. Yeah.
How old is our girlfriend? Our girlfriend.
It's Paris.
I could see it.
Oh, God.
Paris probably fucked Warrant.
I
Like,
bet Paris fucked Motorhead back in the day.
Ooh.
You think she fucked Lemmy?
Yeah.
Suck that mole on his face?
The three. Yeah, so
This
shout
episode
out
is
Warrant.
taking a weird dark turn.
Shout out Warrant. The first time someone's
I am so
mentioned you on
sorry.
the
We try.
podcast.
This is what happens when you try to get relationship advice from the
Yeah, that
dads.
was actually a love line with Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
We're gonna take our next call. It's about
So
anal
yeah,
sex.
homies, don't be out there disrespecting your girls. If you're gonna be friends with people, just integrate everything. Integrate
Yeah.
your whole life together, because then you don't
Yeah,
have to
become
worry.
like one person. Put your bank accounts together.
I mean, don't do that shit. Just like integrate the people.
Burn your
you know.
birth certificates. in
Keep
the
your
same fire.
individuality.
Steal her car.
Steal a car, run it over, crash into a lab where they're testing a dangerous virus on primates. Doom the world. Fuck it, you only live once. Obsession by Calvin Klein.
All right, what a weird turn. And we got another submission that I don't really know how to go about this one.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so this is.
Are we gonna play it? We can't clear it. I don't even want it. It's very disgusting.
I don't think we can clear anything, but I think that
Let's just run down the basics. We got a text, and it was literally just a YouTube
video,
link.
and this is somebody who's contacted us before. Not to get too into it, but they've contacted us before. We have text messages with this person. They sent us several memes, well, a meme, and then they've also sent some text back and forth, and then they sent us this video out of the blue.
Yeah, with nothing else.
It's been about a month since the last communication, and we just got
Okay,
this
let's
video.
get very.
It's just weird. Why would
It's,
you wait a month to talk to us and then send us
They probably
that
just
video?
saw this video.
But
What it is an artist by the name of Wendy Who.
is it Wendy
Wendy
Who or
Ho.
Wendy Ho?
I guess it would
yeah.
probably be Wendy Ho.
Is it H-O? Yeah, that's Ho. Wendy Ho.
H-O-E. Anyway.
But she's like
Wendy
trying to be
Ho.
like stained.
And the video, it is not safe for work if you want to look into it. It's Wendy Ho.
If you go on YouTube, it asks if you're an adult.
Yeah, that's one of those videos. It's Wendy Ho, and the song is called Poop Noodle.
What song is this a parody of?
I don't even know.
It's a parody. It was like a suspicion man.
Oh, I like how you know and you asked me.
I just don't know the name of the song. I just know the tune.
I have no idea. I didn't know it was parody.
It's a parody.
Either way, it is a beautiful work of musical genius.
Called.
I said Poop Noodle. You
I just want you to keep saying
I
it.
hate the word poop.
It's so
Very
childish.
childish,
Like
yeah.
I got
It's like
poop.
Dookie.
Oh.
Dookie's like one of the worst
That's why I can't
words.
listen to Green Day, because everyone's like, "Oh, listen to Dookie."
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
fuck
why we
no, I
can't
won't do
listen
it. Yeah,
to
that's the
Green Day.
only reason why I won't listen to Green Day.
Anyway, it's
Anyway,
it's a song, and it touches on the sensitive topic of anal intercourse, and
they
the
do,
pros and cons.
They do not mince on the effects.
No,
Let's put it that way.
It is a pretty well shot video. It was directed by. Let me pull this back up.
Oh god, yeah. We looked up his website for his production credits. This is listed on his website.
Yeah.
I believe there's actually a coded in link for the video.
Mm-hmm. It's by Stas. I don't even know. Tagios.
Spell it out.
Stas first name.
Stas.
Second name Tagios.
Stastagios?
Stastagio. Stastagio. Is it like something we gotta say together? real
Statigial?
quick? Yeah.
Like a tail? Like a vestigial tail?
Okay, we've gotten down to that. So yeah, he directed, shot, and edited this work of art.
This masterpiece. This film.
basically
I refused to demean it by
it is
calling it a movie.
Basically, it is a nice woman explaining why she doesn't want to have anal sex. Pretty gratuitous. I'm gonna
Very.
say. Ted's review of the podcast fits the description for
Gratuitous,
this video.
yeah.
It's
It makes you want to piss your
vulgar.
pants and puke at the same time.
Yeah, not a lot of laughter. It's there's I don't want to harp on it, but
No.
there is several scenes of a
Banana?
peach.
Peach?
Is it a peach or an apple?
It's a peach with a banana.
Yeah, it's a peach, and there's a banana that's fudge on the tip of it going into.
And I
the
believe she
peach.
talks about getting shit on your dick. at
Oh
one
yeah,
point.
pretty.
She's very
Right off the
graphic.
bat. First,
this
there's not a lot of songs where first verse talks about poop on your dick.
yeah. I mean, there's some like disgusting trap shit that I've listened to that is just
Oh, yeah.
vile, and it's not even on the level of this.
No,
I've
this
listened
is-
to Child Support Me all the way through, and it's not as bad as
I
this.
haven't even listened to it all the way through.
Oh god, what is
This
that? Like
is,
an 8-minute song?
Not even. It just really falls off hard. This
Child
is
Support
just,
Me.
Yeah, go listen to Child Support Me by Lil B. And
Yeah,
then get
go
back
listen to
us.
Child Support Me instead of this.
We can't
Wendy
put it
Ho.
on the playlist because it's not on Spotify for some reason.
Wonder why?
But yeah, Wendy Ho sings us a tale of not wanting to have intercourse in her bottom for a plethora of different reasons, all valid, I would say.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know some of the things, and I don't even want to repeat them.
I don't even want to talk. No, I'm
we
done.
say a lot of shit.
Whoever you are that sent us this Wendy Ho thing, reach out to us. Let us know why you thought.
Give us some
why
feedback.
did you think we would enjoy this? That's my biggest thing about that is like, okay, I understand like if you think that like
the videos that we have been sent are missing the mark.
They're all just very gross and poop based and
Weird,
like
just weird.
somebody send us something cool. Like can I just make a request that somebody sends me something really cool to the email address or the inbox to watch, because like I'm tired of getting bullshit.
Yeah, so text, email, or submit on the website with a better YouTube video.
Yeah.
This was an experience. I will give you that. Like, I will forever remember this.
Yeah.
And,
I'm definitely gonna remember the time I sat in the basement with my best friend and watched this fucking horrible
we
video.
only made it 2 minutes in.
I can't finish it. I refuse. If you can finish it, props to you. I mean, I'm not gonna give you anything because I think you're a disgusting person.
Your main go-to.
I want to know the guy who or gal who listens to the song and then is like, I need to find some more Wendy Ho on Spotify.
Yeah, it looks like she has other songs. There's one, I'm looking at related videos. One is called Fuck Me.
Oh.
It's 5 minutes long.
Oh.
Another one is called Yes, I'm a Hoe.
Well,
and
as the name would imply.
And then the other recommendations are just things recommended to what I normally watch.
What if this somehow tied into the like, I was a hoe. Nah, and now show. It's like we got a weird hoe theme going on with the things we keep getting sent.
Really asked for that.
Not really.
What if this is Wendy Ho's viral marketing? Is she's
trying to virally market her shit through our podcast?
Yeah.
Wendy Ho, you fucking up.
This video has over 1.5 million views,
which is upsetting because I mean I feel like
it is from 2010, so it was a simpler time. We weren't so PC.
That's true, yeah, and it's not even about being PC. We used to be able to fuck
people in the butt in 2010.
I mean, you can fuck people in the butt in 2018 if you want,
but you can't make songs about it.
Yeah, I mean, we do.
You would,
but we
Slim's new album featuring the hit "I Fucked Her in the Butt." I fucked him in the butt.
With production by Huncho Jack.
Yep.
Fast Finger Slims, I Fucked Her in the Butt, featuring Travis Squat. Travis Squat.
Oh, I love Travis Squat. His album Rodeo.
And what is it?
Eagles in the Pigeon.
Eagles
in the Pigeon.
Eagles in the Mansion.
That's what I want a video of. Someone send me a video of an eagle in a pigeon.
Eagles in the Mansion yell Fast Finger Slim.
Yeah, my favorite album.
Yeah, that's my favorite album of all time.
33. That's when your album comes out.
Featuring production by Travis Squat.
Travis Squat. Hope one day I can meet him so I can just be like, oh, Travis Squat, big fan.
Huge fan.
First time in person, long time listener.
Long time listener.
That's what people should say to us.
Loved Rodeo.
First time in person, long time listener.
Yeah, say that. That's what you got to say when you come up to get the drink at the bar. You got to be
just
like,
say one of the things we say, because I feel like we're just gonna keep going with this, and people are gonna be like, I'm not gonna go because I have anxiety about what I'm supposed to say to them.
Would you listen to a song if I put it out if it was produced by Travis Scott?
No.
Wow, that hurts so much.
I don't need to hear more of you because I do this and I hear you just ramble on excessively. I edit this, so I hear you just ramble on
about the
excessively.
Same things.
Yeah, about the same thing. I have to bleep out.
How do you not want to kill me?
That's why we have to take the week break. That's why I can't come over on Wednesdays, because that's the last day I want to murder you. Thursdays I get excited, like tomorrow's the podcast. Friday, you stress me out a lot. Saturday, it can come and go because it's the weekend. Sunday, I wish for your death while I'm editing. And then Monday, I'm like, is he dead yet? Because I'm probably still editing. And then you're sending me memes and just jargon.
Just living.
Just typing words out and not making any sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a lot to deal with, so I will never listen to anything you do outside of this.
I mean, honestly, if we could just
if I'm not involved, if there's not that 50% genius, beautiful, handsome, tall glass of water just dripping with charisma and swagger, then I don't think I could be involved.
I like the implication here is that without you, I'm nothing. That's what I like more than anything.
I'd say you got like 20% something.
Really? 20% of something.
Hey, it's almost a quarter.
I'll take it.
It's almost a quarter, which is all. I'm sorry, I've been mean. Except fuck you.
Yeah, you're just salty because you didn't get the chicken parm. I understand.
No, it's fine because I would have had to strangle you. And now you threw a cigarette at me.
Well, maybe
A
you should
cigarette
stop
that you
being...
smoked like a fourth of. Because you know what I love with smoking cigarettes? When I smoke a fourth and I'm like, that's enough for daddy.
Hey, man, I know my fucking limits.
Man, I know
what
my
like.
fucking limits. How many times have you yelled that at me outside of a bar?
What
That
happened?
they kicked you out of. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
now if we're gonna start getting into personal stories about getting kicked out of
Three
bars
quick kicked out stories. Today, tomorrow, and Saturday.
and probably
Which is
right after the show,
tomorrow.
yeah.
Yeah, let's go get kicked out of the bar.
I'll do
All
it,
right,
fuck
folks.
it.
Come get kicked out of the bar with us, CJ's, on March 31st. It's a Saturday, 8 p.m. We'll put this in every episode. There'll be a flyer.
Yeah.
Bring out all your friends so you don't feel alone and weird.
Come dance with Slim when he puts Where You At on the stereo and
Oh
Drama
yeah,
turns
you
it
want
up
to
all
be
the way.
Yeah, you want to be there when Where You're At comes on.
Oh yeah, I got some. When me and Kurt get out there, there's some wicked moves that are gonna be happening.
Oh yeah, you guys were dancing when there's no one at CJ. So
We
it'll be
dance
nice.
when there's no music too. So what do you want from us?
I know, just perpetually dancing. So get at us, www.thedapperdads.com, dapperdadspodcast@gmail.com, 402-7-DAPPER, that's 402-732-7737. Follow us on Instagram at dapperdadspodcast. Follow us on Twitter at dapperdads. Like us on Facebook if you're still in that hellhole for some reason. Listen to the Spotify playlist, which I think came out this Wednesday, 2
Yep.
days before you're hearing this. Do all the other fucking shit that we fucking
Just
say.
get at us,
Tell
please.
3
We
friends.
need
We
attention.
need you. Come meet us in person. We're definitely not needy.
We're definitely not weird
We're
creeps.
definitely not tall, needy, and loud in public.
Yeah.
3 quick attributes. I'm tall, needy, loud, in public.
Yeah.
It's on my Tinder profile. 0 swipes, but I understand. Technology's weird.
Yeah.
All right.
Some girls just don't have thumbs to make it work, right? I would just like to end this.
Oh, I'd like a thumbless girl.
I would.
Oh,
What?
go listen to Dockin.